James. You've been here a few weeks now, obviously in a reduced capacity whilst waiting for your sign-off with the independent football regulator. But this is the first chance to say welcome to the club.
Yeah, glad to be here. Obviously, it's took a bit longer than would have expected, but it's a good thing that the independent football regulator is looking into how clubs are run, not only with the owners, but now day-to-day management at top level. So it's been a process that I've had to go through, which took a little bit longer than we expected, but I'm glad it's done and I'm ready to drive on with everything now, and looking forward to the challenge.
Obviously, we mentioned you were here for a few weeks in that reduced capacity. Has that actually been quite welcome for you to sort of cast your eye over things and sort of implement your own ideas in your head ahead of obviously starting properly?
Yeah, I think it's good because it's allowed me to just sit in the background and watch how day to day the club runs. It's allowed me to have a feel for the key sponsors, what they're looking for, and I think it put me in a good position for now when I'm ready to take on the challenge of managing director. I can drive it forward as quickly as possible and keep going and drive the club forward.
And obviously you come in, it's a newly created role, there's not been a managing director here before. What was it that made you think this was the right step in your career to come to Cheltenham, and was it almost, you can almost shape the role into how you see it being fit with yourself and Mike?
Yeah, I would say that I've worked for 3 clubs close to the area with Newport, Hereford and Swindon. I think that there have been opportunities for me previously of head of commercial roles in the Championship and League One, but I've always wanted to get back into a senior position, which Cheltenham fits the bill perfectly. It's a good location. There has been other opportunities for me this summer, but this was the one I wanted. After I met Mike, met the board, they shaped their vision, they showed where they want the club to go. It matched my ambition in my own career, and I think that the future looks very positive for Cheltenham Town Football Club.
And you join an exciting time. Obviously, Steve Cottrell's leading stuff on the pitch after his return. For you, on the day-to-day side of things, we've had the new hospitality lounge and improvements around the place, new staff. Just how much do you think you can help push those new things on and continue to improve and continue that upward trajectory?
Yes, there's been good work that's been done here that I could see over not only the last few months but the last few years really. I think that with Mike's ownership it'll take it to the next level. He's proven in football, he knows what he's doing. I think with my commercial background at previous clubs and operational as well, I think that I've come in, I've had a look at things that I think that we could generate extra money. So I feel there's extra money can be generated for the academy. I think extra money can be generated for the women's team. I'd like to bring back the match day programme, because I think over the last few years, especially since COVID, people have got more away from digital again. People like to have something physical printed in their hand again and read. Other clubs have brought programmes back. I've gone and done some research around sales patterns at other clubs, so I think that will be brought in. And I think from my point of view, first of all, it's revenue generation across every revenue stream that we can. Then it's going to be improved matchday experience and the operations of the football club day to day. And then from that point of view, then I'm going to start to look at additional revenue that we can bring in with events and functions around the fan zone, whether we do concerts here, whether we do guest speakers, one-off specific events around Christmas. But the site is premium. It's close to the M5, so there's no reason why the stadium cannot be a facility that is used more than just for 23 to 30 football matches a year.
And you mentioned it there, obviously, the new hospitality suite, the new fan zone. How important are they to that revenue generation away from a match day?
Yeah, that's crucial for how this club moves forward. I think that the venue needs to be used, and when people come and they're looking for a hospitality suite to do conferencing or events, they're looking for something that's new, state of the art and not tired. And I think that with the investment that's quite obvious has gone into the new hospitality suite, that is why we'll be able to use that room throughout the week and on weekends where the football club is away from Cheltenham as well. So there's a whole host of plans in the background that's going on, but I think that when it all comes together, the club will be in a good position to push forward both on and off the field.
And for yourself, have you had time to sort of think of short-term, medium and longer-term goals for the football club?
Yeah, I think the short term is to maximise as much revenue as possible. So I could see the work that's been done by Luke and Cameron here anyway. But then it's bringing in my own contacts, whether they be local, national, regional, whatever I can bring in to help support that. I think that is the short term aim, is to get things moving as quickly as possible. And then medium will be then to basically take that to the next level. So how do we add 10% on everything? How do we add 10% to shop revenue? How do we add 10% to bars? How do we add 10% to events? And then basically the long term is to get us to the best place that we can be with the facilities that we've got. And then do we redevelop a stand, or how do we spend more money at the training ground, or what do we do to become a sustainable League One club? So there are short, medium and long-term plans in place, and it's just getting the ball rolling, really, to be honest.
And of course, you mentioned how to become sustainable. A lot of that also relies on the supporters getting bums on seats, into stands. Like, what are your goals or plans and ideas to sort of increase that average attendance, get the younger fan base into Cheltenham from early?
So I think it would be working with a community trust, basically get as many schools and young grassroots teams in, working with the academy to get young academy players in, and then also we'll be going out and working with commercial partners. So I think that basically get as many commercial partners in as possible. Mascot packages on the day will then drive young fans. My first game will drive young fans. We need to look at entertainment for families and children on match days, again, to drive young supporters, because then that will generate revenue in the retail side with the shop and the new deal with Adidas. So I think there are a lot of plans in place, again, to let's drive this forward. I think that the two ways that we will increase attendances is through young supporters and through commercial clients, which they're the two areas that you could see the investment is going into. And I think that that's where we've got to push and develop, because by increasing commercial revenue and attendances, that then will give Steve more money to put into the team, which will drive the club forward.
And obviously the fans are the lifeblood of any football club. Just how important is it to listen to their views and opinions? Obviously we've got the shadow board, for example. How important are things like that when helping to shape decisions for the future, just getting that insight from them?
Yeah, it's very good, but I think the thing that helps me is because I'm from out of the area. Don't get me wrong, I live within 60 miles, and it's very, very easy to listen to supporters, but sometimes you have to have that opinion that is based on business and business decisions. I know that when I worked for the club where I lived, it was very easy to be shaped by decisions of people because of the emotive actions around being a fan. So I think it's very good to have supporters around on a shadow board. I think it's very good to have a mixture of supporters working in the workforce along with people from outside the area, and I believe it's good to have fans on the board as well. But I think what I'm bringing to Cheltenham Town is that with 14 years history in football now, and I've worked for where I live and other clubs as well, I think sometimes that independent decision making is what will help with how I think I can drive the club forward. But it is crucial to have as much feedback from fans as possible. So I do think it is important, but sometimes I think your final decision needs to be made without having that fan hat on, as so to speak.
And obviously we've touched on them briefly, the community trust, the women, the academy. What are your plans with that, so to speak? Like, are we bringing them all together and everyone being the best they can be? Do you have any longer term strategies for those sort of?
Yeah, I think it's just for everything to look the same, which I know me and you have spoke about. I think the way that the media is portrayed across all three teams, the way we generate money with digital sponsorship, programme sponsorship, player sponsorships, everything is geared to generate money across the club. They will be at different levels based on the size of each section of the club, but it will be pushed together as a one club philosophy. So I do think that there will be potential of more academy games being played here. The high-end FA Youth Cup games will be played here. I think that there will be women's matches played at the stadium as well. And then that basically will open us up to different commercial revenues as well, because different businesses are looking for different things. Some businesses look into youth football, some look into women in sport, and others are looking for just corporate days out watching the EFL football. So we've got to be in a position where we're developing and delivering products which basically fit the community and all of the local businesses, and I think that is first team academy and women's football. So it's key from my point of view with the board and with the staff at the football club to drive all three together.
Well, James, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.